the Minnesota Vikings and their draft. So let's take a look at Minnesota here, Tom. And not a lot of needs going into this draft, but you gave them a C-.
You and I are on very different sides of things here.
Yep.
And the Vikings had two high picks. They had number 30 and number 62. And they got Mike Hughes and Brian O'Neill, two players that I know some NFL teams like, but I'm actually not all that high on. Brian O'Neill has the athletic upside to be a left tackle, but at the Senior Bowl and some of the pre-draft stuff, great athlete, not a good tackle though. So maybe you try and put him at right tackle early and kick Remmers inside to guard. That might be an option there. And then you got Elflein and Remmers, and you got some talent up there. I don't love the pick, because if you play Brian O'Neill early, unless you really get him coached up, my big concern, Cam, is that he's going to get beat badly. And you're going to have flashes of another Pitt tackle that Minnesota had, TJ Clemmings. I know you like Mike Hughes. I'm not quite as high on him.
I love him.
So I don't hate Mike Hughes, but I had him as more of a round 2 guy. I had Brian O'Neill as more of a day 2 guy. Jalyn Holmes I don't love. They keep trying with these tight ends. Tyler Conklin, the next guy there, to be that move tight end. I actually like getting Colby Gossett. I think that was a pretty good pick there. Aruna has some upside as an edge rusher. Kicker was whatever in round 5, but there was a weird run on special teams guys in round 5, round 6. Everyone was waiting for Michael Dixon to go. Once he did, they took the other players.
Mike Hughes, I think, could certainly be in the discussion in terms of cornerback number 2 going up against Trey Waynes there for Minnesota. That's his
he's going to
ceiling in my
compete.
eyes.
My concern is that he didn't test all that well in terms of size or speed. There's some off-field stuff from his time at UNC. He's going to bring some nice return value as well, which is always a big boost there. I just don't know if Mike Hughes is really going to be the guy at corner. I would have much preferred Josh Jackson.
Okay.
It wasn't the worst pick of round 1, but it was just kind of an average pick. And overall, Minnesota, I'm just kind of like, I get what they're going for. I don't despise it, but I don't really love it either. That's why you see a lot of C's for me here with Minnesota. I apologize, Vikings fans, for hating on your team's draft class.
Mike Hughes at number 30 overall. By the way, Mackenzie Alexander, still waiting for him to burst out. I saw him at Clemson with my own eyes, and I thought maybe he'd be a good corner.
I thought he was going to be good, too. He's been a little bit of an underachiever, but they also brought back Terrence Newman, at least to help mentor these guys early on. So you want more help across from Xavier Rhodes. I kind of think Mike Hughes might end up being best in the slot. I just have a little bit of concerns there.
Brian O'Neill on the surface, too. I mean, it's an average grade, but I'm really banking on him.
He has the upside, but is he actually going to develop in the way that you think he's going to? I mean, look, he is a fat guy touchdown machine. He did that a lot at Pitt because he was a tight end for a while. They bulked him into a tackle. He moves like a tight end at times, but his protection actually wasn't that great at Pitt. I thought he struggled at some of the Senior Bowl and other stuff we mentioned earlier. Those are my concerns on that end for Minnesota. So it wasn't a bad draft by any means, but I would have loved the guard and a DT early. Like, you could have walked out of that draft with Will Hernandez and Mo Hurst. How great would that have been? Now, yeah, there are medical concerns with Mo Hurst, but I thought Minnesota didn't quite take advantage of their best chances this year.
All right, so that's the rundown with the Minnesota Vikings firmly in Super Bowl 53 conversations out there. Give us a grade on Minnesota's draft. And I will say this, Tom, it didn't have to be an A. They have a good roster.
And I think that's what you see with a lot of these teams that are picking late. It does kind of impact their ability to get better players. Minnesota did not need an A draft in the same way that the Browns or the Jets, for example, needed an A draft. A C draft is an average draft. That's not a bad thing. It just means it's not a great one. Not every team gets a great draft, folks.